Hey guys, today I've grouped together 3 records for us to look at. They're not really particularly associated with each other. It's not like the same artist, producer. They're not sequel songs to each other or anything like that. But they are 3 early, mid-80s New Jersey hip-hop raps that get kind of overlooked, I think, and just sort of a fun little look into New Jersey hip-hop history. So this first one, actually in a past video, I mentioned it briefly and I said, you know what, someday I'm going to come back and do a video about this record. Well, today is that day. Here it is, finally the time. This is Mellow Tone, Jersey Time, 1988. Or actually, depending which particular pressing you've got, it could be the B-side and the A-side could be Mission Possible. Either way, this came out on Glitton Records, as you see, label sleeve. Some versions have a sticker cover. And the artist is Mellow Tone, or whether you're looking at the A-side or the B-side, a very rare case where an artist actually changes his name based on what side of the record it is. He's Mellow Tone or Mellow Tone T. I'm not sure. I think T might possibly be a reference to him having his DJ on board on the track, because his DJ is DJ Tony T, or that's just a coincidence and he's Mellow Tone, or the group is Mellow Tone because Anthony Sledge is kind of the main MC. He's basically the rapper of this record. So I'm not 100% sure. They do have another record out too, also credited to Mellow Tone, but this is definitely the biggest one. It's actually got, like I said, a couple pressings. Some versions only have Jersey Fresh on them, and some versions it's the B-side to Mission Possible, but in some ways they're essentially the same song, as we're going to find out. So my particular version has Mission Possible as the A-side, so let's run with that. So both tracks have vocal versions and then instrumental or dub accompanying them, and they're both essentially the same instrumental and even the same lyrics by Mellow Tone. You're definitely going to recognize the main sample. I mean, it's actually not a sample. I think they've reinterpreted it. They're replaying it. But it's basically, essentially, as the song title implies, it's the Mission Impossible theme. It's a pretty dope record. You know, very 80s. Sounds, you know, so if you find 80s corny, this is not going to convince you otherwise. It's definitely not like a real, you know, Rock Him Allah kind of classic or anything. But it is a cool, fun record. But really, what's interesting for, at least for Jersey heads, is the B-side, or in some cases, again, the A-side, Jersey Fresh. So again, instrumentally, pretty much the same thing. Mellow Tone just spitting over the same instrumental. You're like, what is this, just a remix or something? And why would it suddenly be called Jersey Fresh? Well, you find out when you hear the hook. The hook is by a singer named Mativa Gittins, possibly a relation to Gittin Records. I'm not sure, but it seems like a pretty strong coincidence. And she belts the hell out of the hook, and wow, is it suddenly all about New Jersey. She's just totally, it sounds pretty, you know, it actually sounds like the kind of thing you'd expect for like the opening credits to a travelogue video or something. It doesn't sound hip-hop at all. I mean, obviously the instrumental is still a hip-hop track, but you know, you're gonna hear it. It sounds pretty over the top. Still though, over the Mission Impossible theme, which is a little odd, but so this is the Jersey version of Mission Possible called Jersey Fresh.
To the youth of the 80s. Reports indicate you're not just in a state, you're in a state of mind. Good luck, Tone.
I'm egotistically eager to release my song. Heavy thinking brain linking to bring my state along. With the bright lights, cameras, me as main attract. It's time to go for the gold. In other words, action packing the place. Number one in the race. You can listen to the bass pumping in your face. A briefcase is what I hold with my funky fresh lyrics that I treat like gold. T that is getting biz, you know what time it is. Coming right and exact, so here it is. You know I'm guaranteed to be on point, you know what I'm saying. Guaranteed, fresh, Mellow Tone kicks it. Yeah, the mission is possible. Mellow Tone 10 effect. Where I live is coolin'. You got to leave the state to have fun, must be fooling.
Let's skip ahead because it's all the same, but you notice that state of mind, that's referencing the fact this is suddenly a New Jersey track. Alright, now record number 2 of our trilogy. Actually, before I really talk about the record, let me just kind of talk to you about this crazy sleeve, because you might be like, what's up with that? I actually just ordered this record. I knew about it for a long time. I finally decided I need to have it in my collection, and that then in turn inspired me to do this whole Jersey Trilogy video. And so, ordered it used, and it came in this pretty crazy sleeve. What it actually is a library sleeve, as in a public library, a legitimate library. I guess way back in the 80s, you know, now you can get books and DVDs, but back then they would have had records. And so they actually kind of made the sleeve. So this is sort of like a generic interior sleeve that you would have found for like an old, you know, like a 60s, 70s jazz album might have this kind of brown papery inserts. And it's just been taped on using the same kind of tape that they use to make, you know, bookbinding stuff to this solid piece of cardboard. And it's got notices from the library here. And it's got their, the logo right here on the center. It's a New York library. So, just sort of an interesting thing. It's actually kind of cool. It's better than just a plain generic sleeve, because this never came in like a fancy picture cover or anything. So kind of cool to have something a little bit different. But anyway, that's not so important. Let's talk about the actual record. Jersey, This Is Dope by Strictly Deaf on Def City Records. This is 1987, so this actually came out before the last record. And this is purely an anthem about New Jersey. They're just rapping about New Jersey. They're singing about New Jersey. It's a pure New Jersey record. You're going to recognize a little bit of instrumentation at the beginning from a very 80s pop record. They kind of whistle it, but they kind of instantly discard it and really basically just go right for the boom bap kind of stuff. There's 2 versions, but they're pretty similar. Then there's also an instrumental and stuff like that. There's also a dope mix on here, but that actually turns out to just be a TV track. I guess maybe even back in '87 they didn't call them TV tracks. And if you don't know, a TV track is essentially the instrumental, but with vocal ad-libs and stuff on there, like the backup vocals are on there. So if you were to do a show, if you were to perform this at a club or something, and you were to start rapping over the instrumental, you would have all the backup vocals supplied by the record, even though, you know, you're still doing the main vocals live. This is the only record by Strictly Deaf, but this label's been around. They did a couple other things. I think actually MC Mitchke was on this label for a little hot minute. He's the guy who did The Answer to the Bridge. Not The Bridge Is Over, obviously. Brooklyn Took Down the Bridge, whatever it's called, something like that. So that's sort of his known record. He's briefly on this record. But also, one of the members had a solo album, Coolie Cool. So, solo single rather, not a whole album. But so, you know, there is a little bit more history to these guys, but this is their one record as Strictly Deaf. And again, all about New Jersey, very 80s. Let's just hear it right now.
Jersey's on a mission.
Needs to be told. Pull up a chair, get comfortable while the tale unfolds. Starting at the beginning, cause that's where I begun. Listen close to my lord, it's a lesson, son. Now here to brag about myself because it's obvious. It ain't an MC alive that can get with us to set the record straight. Put you on the right track. I never deal with opinion, only truth. In fact, there's a rumor being spread from borough to borough. If you're a rapper from the apple, that makes you thorough. Well, let me tell you something, cause it's not the case. Cause it's time for Jersey to give you a taste of your own medicine to hit to where you live. And let's see if you can take it as well as you give. And this time when shit start to hit the fan, you won't be standing like Mr. Clean, my man. Cause I had it up to here with the dumb bullshit. I'm gonna let you suckers know I ain't going for it. I'm not down with the scheme, I'm part of a plan. And by the way, yeah, I'm from Jersey, my man.
Go, 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 Jersey. Go, 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 Jersey.
Now that you know my skills are not weak, listen up, sucker niggas, I'm about to preach about the perpetrating brothers who think that the third.
And thirdly, finally, the last record in our trilogy, also 1987, the same year as Strictly Deaf. This is not a completely unknown artist, but it is a pretty slept-on record. It's Grand Poobah Tony D and Cool Gino G. And the name that you should recognize there, that you should pull out, is Tony D. He is, as in the Tony D, the very large hip-hop producer who did stuff like Poor Righteous Teachers, all their classic records. King Son, later went on to do 90s stuff with, like, you know, Scott Larks, Sean Love, all kinds of stuff. He did Crusaders of Hip Hop on Profile Records. And he did his own album, which is very well known largely for dissing third bass, like almost the entire album. Like every once in a while he'd do a song that wasn't about third bass, it'd be about something else, and be like, okay, but back to third bass. You know, so kind of a fun, definitely a great producer, kind of a fun, slightly corny rapper. That definitely, producing was really his strength. And here he does rap though, and it's a little bit more straightforward. I guess probably just because it's the 80s, it's a little bit more basic. It's 2 songs, It's My Day and I'm Terrifying, and there's 2 versions of It's My Day, the day mix and the night mix. And you're obviously, I'll play clips of both. You're going to hear it in the instrumental right away. Basically, it's the same track except for this little extra, really kind of funky, dope bass line in the night mix. I actually prefer that one. It sounds a little bit more modern too. The first one's a little bit more classic, early 80s. I was going to say throwback, but this is, it's not throwback. This is genuinely from that period. It's on Body Rock Records, which is the same label like GLOBE was on, from the Soul Sonic Force, DJ Wiz. So, they had a couple records out. This is one of them. So Tony D, here known as Grand Puba Tony D, and then he took off the Grand Puba from his name when the very famous Grand Puba Maxwell came out and, had solo albums and Brand Nubian, of course, and Masters of Ceremony. And so when he blew up, Tony D was just like, all right, I'm just going to be straight Tony D, and dropped the Grand Puba so there'd be no confusion. So this is, though, before any of that, 1987. Sometimes it's a little hard to tell who's rapping on here because I think they kind of sound similar. I think they're both rapping on here. Actually, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty confident Tony D is rapping on here. He's not just a producer. When he refers to himself as a cool Trantonian, I mean, there he really sounds like Tony D. Otherwise, though, he does sound a little bit different. He does sound a little younger. This is definitely a different vein from when he's doing stuff like, Check the Elevation and EFF, ECT, and of course later on all his beat albums and stuff like this. This is, really like, 80s again, more cowbell, more program beats, that kind of stuff. And while these songs aren't necessarily particularly about New Jersey per se, he definitely references being in New Jersey several times on both songs. And of course it is a very legendary New Jersey producer, Tony D, his rare first record. Not that rare. I mean, it's not crazy rare. Body Rock was, a pretty legit label. They put out a lot of records, so, I mean, you can find it cheaply enough. But it's just one that never really gets talked about or discussed. And I think even a lot of Tony D fans don't necessarily know about it, so I'm sharing it with you all now. Record number 3. Let's hear it.
Maintaining a surplus of air in my lungs to exercise my vocal cord, releasing deaf lyrics so that you don't get bored. Every rap's a different page of my rhyme diary. This chapter here's about suckers who keep trying me, 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 trying me. The inhuman supernatural power I possess results in rap catastrophe, so don't second guess.
Give you a quick taste of the night mix so you can hear, because basically it's the same song, you're just going to extra sample.
Now uptown beats all sound the same, but this one here is gonna change the name of this beat. Known to rock any party, and listen everybody, cause it's not lottie-dottie. When I grab the mic to this uptown sound,
it's just that boom, 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 boom.
I'm terrifying. I'm terrifying. Yes, I'm terrifying. controversial new words conforms the discussion. Musical weapons, bass, treble, and percussion be a measure on the scale is worldwide destruction. Explosive matter, my subject is you. Reiterate the last sentence and destroy your whole crew. I get upset. My blood temperature boils, my vocal shall extend. For breath, my lungs recoil. Lingering lyrics linger no longer. As food is energy, I eat you up and grow stronger. Resist, I must persist. My rhyme I will describe as immeasurable pain that should never subside. I'm terrified. I'm terrified. Oh yeah. Yes, I'm terrified. I'm terrified. Diverse, explain the lyrics that I use and I never rehearse. The craniologist, creating rhyme for the brain, which infiltrates your nerves like a tube of cocaine.
So that's it. You know me, I'm from New Jersey, so I just gotta revel in my bias just a little bit. So that was it for this video. New Jersey Trilogy, 3 dope 80s records. Next time won't be New Jersey because I'm not just gonna pound it down your throat or something. So thanks for watching. See you guys next time.